God hates putting away. I therefore decided to major in answering this question today as Hidden Agenda Part 2, Extension 1. Returning back to Part 2 topic, but Extension 1. Because it may also have Extension 2. Now, you that is reading, stand up again. Start from verse 10 to read. Read clearly.
10. Have we not all one Father? Had not one God created us? Why do we deal treacherously, every man against his brother?
Why will you ever show wickedness? Why will you ever show hate? Why will you ever show any sign of negligence, rejection to your fellow being? Are we not one God? Yes.
By profaning the covenant of our fathers. 11. I, Judah, had dealt treacherously, and an abomination is committed in Israel and in Jerusalem. For Judah had profaned the holiness of the Lord, which he loved, and had married the daughter of a strange God.
Those in Judah, Malachi was still revealing, has profaned, has defied the ordinances of the God of Israel by one of them marrying a strange woman. A strange woman. Marrying a strange woman. Marrying from a nation where God has forbidden them from marrying from. And that reminds me, why was Isaac? Why did Isaac reveal to Jacob where to marry from and where not to marry from? And why did Esau heed to that instruction and was also prosperous? Go on.
12. The Lord will cut off the man that doeth this.
You see, the Lord will cut what? Cut who?
Off.
Cut off the man that did this thing to Judah. The man that did this thing in Judah. The man, God will cut him off.
The master and the scholar out of the tabernacles of Jacob, and him that offereth an offering unto the Lord of hosts.
Verse
13. And this have ye done again, covering the altar of the Lord with tears, with weeping, and with crying out, insomuch that he regarded not the offering anymore, or received it with goodwill at your hand. 14. Yet ye say,
what we are discussing here is like the action of the people of Judah as an approach to issues in their hands. God was angry because a son of Judah married from a strange land, a land where he forbids them from marrying. Am I talking to God's people?
Yes, sir.
God was angry because such a person married from a strange language. And the Lord was bitter about it. Read on.
14. Yet ye say, wherefore? Because the Lord had been witness between thee and the wife of thy youth, against whom thou hast dealt treacherously, yet is she thy companion, and the wife of thy covenant.
Then the Lord extended his anger to those that are wicked in any form to the wife of their youth. The problem you have here is that statement, wife of thy youth. That's the problem you have. And that is the same problem that the mommy that asked this question had. The confusion that is setting in the Bible is that statement. The wife of thy youth is what you never queried. You never asked to know what it means. The definition, that you might know why I spoke the way I did. Read on.
15. And did not he make one? Yet had he the residue of the Spirit. And wherefore one? That he might seek a godly seed. Therefore, take heed to your spirit, and let none deal treacherously against the wife of his youth.
Let one do not do wickedly against the wife of his youth. Who is the wife of your youth? The wife of one's youth is, okay, before I answer that question, let me remind you where we are coming from. Our topic, Hidden Agenda Part 1, started with the point, the topic that there are 5 elements of creation. And that these 5 elements of creation has 5 Godheads. In actual sense, there are 5 Godheads of creation, but one supreme God that ruleth over the rest of the 4. We went on to state that among these 5 heads, 5 Godheads of creation, which 5 elements of creation, which is namely darkness, light, firmament, the earth, the sea. And when we went further through the book of Revelation 4, we discovered that the 4 beasts on the throne were bowing down, worshiping the mighty God, representing the beast of the light, the beast of the firmament, the beast of the earth, and the beast of the sea, as the Godheads of creation. And I told you that the supreme God represents the Godhead of darkness. The Bible said in the book of Revelation that the whole earth was covered and the Spirit of God was moving on the surface of the water in deep darkness. And he said, out of the darkness, let there be light. And there was light. And he asked light to begin to create. We concluded with a statement that riches, wealth, prosperity, and power can only rest upon a man in his ability to worship the mighty God in recognition to the 5 heads, the 5 elements of creation, 5 Godheads. 5 Godheads of the elements of creation. The question becomes, how do we respect and recognize the 5 Godheads of the elements of creation? We ended there. And when we come to Hidden Agenda Part 2, we begin to look at respect and recognition to the 5 Godheads of the elements of creation. I made a statement. I said, every being on earth is a representation of the power and wealth capacity of an element of the 5 Godheads of creation, of the elements of creation. Every human is a representation of 1 or 2 or 3. 1 or 2 or 3 or more Godheads of elements of creation. Lend me your ears. Then I ended up with a point that attitude is the only secret in respecting and recognizing the 5 Godheads of the 5 elements of creation. Attitude. We went on to ask ourselves, who is attitude? It was defined as one's approach or response to issues in life. Your approach or response to issues in life is total respect and recognition to the 5 Godheads of the 5 elements of creation. Your attitude, your approach to issues in life is total respect and recognition. Your approach to issues in life, your approach, your response to issues in life is total respect and recognition to the 5 Godheads of the 5 elements of creation. You now begin to ask yourself a question. Begin to look at your attitude. How wonderful, great, and powerful attitude is. Your approach to issues. Hello, God's people. While we were meditating on this, then I made that statement that when we talk about attitude, we are talking about obedience. We are talking about giving. We are talking about dressing code. We are talking about greetings. We are talking about what? Tolerance. That is approach, attitude. It was then that I want that we should be careful of how we approach issues. Issues are not just what people did to you. Issues are inclusive on what life has brought to you. What life, when we talk about issues, we are not talking only of what people did to you. We are talking also about what life has brought to you. Then I set an example. You got married to a lovely husband that is taking very good care of you. 1 in a million. But unfortunately, you discovered that he cannot father a child. It becomes an issue. How you approach that issue becomes an attitude. Many women went after, and before then, the mother-in-law is already on your neck. The entire family of the man wants to throw you out. They don't want to hear anything in your own part as regards to the man. All the attention which is happening till tomorrow is that you are the cause. And when under that pressure you begin to dig the matter and finally discover that you are not the cause and your husband the ex, the way you handled it, many women went after getting pregnancy from outside, and there was joy and there was immediate restoration of peace. But I gave an example. A day came, the child becomes sick, and the father's blood was tested. Not just that it didn't match, but it's not working. Through ayaya. Amen. Then the game started. At the end of the day, by then 4 children has been born. Only for the family to find out that among the 4, no one is their son's blood. That thing you thought you have covered has opened, and will never be caught. The same husband that loved you so much that you are trying to cover for will hate you like a pig. I want you to think. It was then, I now made that statement after many things. that there are those born not to marry, be it man or woman, male and female. And there are those born to marry certain things, certain kind of men and certain kind of women. And this question came that the Lord hates putting away. Where did you stop? And who asked you to sit?
16. For the Lord, the God of Israel, said that he hated putting away. For one covered violence with his garment.
Pause. During our teaching here, we heard about the wife of your youth. The wife of your youth is whom God is warning you never to put away. But if the wife is not the wife of your youth, you will not be the one to put away. The put away will just happen. The only person you cannot put away is the wife of your youth. And who is the wife of your youth? The bone of your bone. The Bible recorded that he that founded a wife, not a woman. There are women on earth, but there is a wife for you. But eventually, if you are among those that are born that has no wife, you can't find any. If you are among those that are born not to marry, like Jesus the Messiah was born not to marry, he will find no wife anywhere. Eventually, if you are born not to marry, except you are converted to marry, then wife will automatically be created for you, no matter your age. Lend me your ears. The wife of your youth simply means the bone of your bone among women. The wife that is designed for you. That is the wife of your youth. You must not deal with her wickedly, nor put